Hey, good evening. It's Monday, March 22nd. Again, thanks so much for being here. Got several questions I want to be answering that you've sent questions in. I'll be answering over the next couple of days, so keep listening and we'll catch up with them. But tonight I wanted to talk about prayer and why our prayer is sometimes disappointing to us or discouraging to us, or even perhaps a sense of despair. And one of the reasons that we have that weakness in prayer is because we limit what we ask for to what we think that we need. Rather than seeking God first, rather than delighting in Him and doing what God has called us to, He is urging us to trust Him, to delight in Him. And that's a gift that God has given to us in His Word. Something He wants us to reach out. He wants us to come to Him on His terms. Not trusting ourselves, but trusting Him. You see, when we limit God to responding on the basis of what you and I think is best, then we take His providence and we push it to the side. Maybe not intentionally, but you and I don't have the ability to know what's best. But God does know what's best. And that's the joy that God calls us to. So we want to experience the wonder of God's care while we're praying. And I fear that too often our prayers, we limit them because we only pray for what we think we need, rather than praying for God to bless us. Psalm 37 speaks to this. There's a few lines here. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. This passage is often misunderstood as a whatever you want kind of passage. But if you delight in the Lord, if you desire His goodness and His mercy, that's when He gives you the desires of your heart. And that's far better than anything that you and I can desire. Let's not trust our ability to decide what is best. Let's don't settle for delighting in what you and I desire. Let's buy into what God has for us. And we find that for not searching ourselves, but for searching His Word. See, limiting ourselves to delighting in what we desire, that leads to disappointment and despair and a prayer life that is really discouraging. By delighting in God and tasting in the bounty of His goodness and desiring that, then it opens up a whole new arena of trusting God. A couple of lines later in the psalm, it says, commit your way to the Lord and trust in Him, and He will do this. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, and your vindication like the noonday sun. That's what God has for you and me, trusting in Him. So often we want things settled on our terms. God is opening up to us if we desire His goodness. If we seek, for example, the fruit of the Spirit and commit ourselves to love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. That's what God has for us. Experience His bounty and His care. Trust Him. Make your prayer about what God wants for you and look to His Word to give you that vision. I can tell you from my own personal experience, that's where the bounty of God is. Because I'm not a very good person to describe what I want, but the Spirit of God knows what I want. He's written it there for me in His Word. And that's the thought for this night. Experience the wonder of God's care when you're praying. Rest well this night. Again, thanks so much for being here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the button that says turn on notifications, and these videos will come right to you. Thanks again. It's an honor to be with you each day. Have a great day, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.